Let's talk about Barcelona for a second. Let's just talk about how much of a mess they are in. I don't think they understand what they've just done. And I don't think they understand the implications with this move. I don't really think they do. I don't think they've sat down and actually thought about it. If we let this guy go, what's going to happen to our season or what's going to happen? I don't think they've actually sat down. I think the only thing they said, you know what? We have to register Olmo. So in order for us to do that, let's just offload whatever person that comes to mind. He's the person that comes to mind because his wage is very high. Bad decision. I don't know if it's Laporta, if it's Deco, or if it's Hansi Flick. One of them have just made the worst decision you can imagine. Before I go any further, before I give you my thoughts about it, the implications which I think it might have for Barcelona season, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment your own thoughts. Barcelona fans, I'm quite curious. What do you guys think about the move? Put down in the comments what you think and whether you agree or disagree with what I'm about to say. So if you guys haven't seen, if you guys have been living under a rock for the past 48 hours, Gundogan have just officially left Barcelona as a free transfer. Free. You heard me correctly, by the way. Free transfer. Yes, free. Absolute 0 pence. He ended his contract and Barcelona themselves decided to offload him for free without having to sell him for any figure. And the reasoning behind it is because they've just signed Dani Olmo for 65 million and they're not able to register him unless they offload a couple of players to basically make space for Dani Olmo. One of them being, of course, Gundogan. Another person have just been Faye, another talented centre-back / left-back. Very talented, who I mentioned in one of my previous videos. I was very high on him. I expected him to get more minutes for Barcelona this season. I even expected to maybe start for Barcelona, but he's just been offloaded, similar to Gundogan. Before we go to Gundogan, let me just give you my thoughts about Faye, because he's another victim of this Dani Olmo situation. Faye have just left Barcelona. He just went to Rennes in the Ligue A, and Barcelona have sold for 10 million. If you ask me very specifically, is he worth 10 million? Absolutely not, especially in today's market where everyone's going above their prices. They're going for about 20, 30, 40 players, and that's average players. Faye is very talented, can play both as a left back or as a centre back. He's very good on the ball. He's very good going forward, defensively very solid, very young. Barcelona this season, they've got Bolde and they've got Fort. Faye is better than Fort. Faye was going to be starting, in my opinion, in some of the bigger games because defensively he's better than Bolde. Bolde going up is a complete different player. Bolde defending is a complete different player. Faye is solid defensively. So Barcelona was going to be relying on him a lot this season, in my opinion, but it turned out to be he was just another victim to register Dani Olmo. Let's go to Gundogan. Offloading Gundogan for free. Any Real Madrid fan can tell you right now openly for free. This is a free conversation to me, to you. You're not paying me to say this. I'm going to just tell you my honest thoughts. It is, hands down, the worst decision any club has made this window, last window, the window before, 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 for a long, long, long time. You've just offloaded one of your best players last season. That's one. You've just offloaded the person, the most intelligent member of your team, the highest IQ player in your team, the most leadership member in your team for absolute nothing. You did that to register a player which I don't even think is better than him in any shape, way or form or anything. If you asked me, Barcelona's best 11, does it consist Gundogan? Absolutely it does. Barcelona best 11, does it consist Dani Olmo? I don't think it does. And that's me being absolute truthful and absolute honest. You saw what last season did. The moment Gavi went down, let's be real, Barcelona's best fielder was Gundogan, by far. One of Barcelona's best players last season was Gundogan. If you ask me right now, Faysal, can you please give me a top 30 Ballon d'Or list? Gundogan is in my top 30 Ballon d'Or list. Are you guys really trying to underrate the season Gundogan had last season? Really? Gundogan had to adapt from a Pep system into a Xavi, can we really say a system? I mean, did Xavi really had a system last season? Or was it all done by vibes? Bro, Gundogan was the one that created the system. Gundogan was the manager but was playing at the same time. That's how crucial he was to the Barcelona team last season. I can give you so many games, one by one. One of them being Sociedad, away from home, at Anoeta. Did you guys remember that game? The IQ play by everything by Gundogan, of course, assisting the winner. That was just one game, bro. The El Clasico and New Camp, yes, they lost, but first half, Gundogan, exceptional. I was at the stadium and I witnessed it firsthand how crucial he was. Forget on the ball, off the ball, telling the players where to go. That's the manager. They had a manager. And not only that, they had someone who was honest to the media and honest to the players and said it how it is. By every single game, he would come out after the game and say it's understood whether Barcelona played well, whether Barcelona played well. The whole Araujo situation, when Araujo got sent off against Paris Saint-Germain, he said it himself. You're not a young kid no more. That was a bad decision. And Araujo, decided to be a little kid and actually got his emotions pretty high. You just offloaded that person in order to register Dani Olmo. Come on, man. I'm actually celebrating this, but I'm telling you guys, come on, man. Do better. Really? Gundogan leaving Barcelona is, of course, a massive benefit to Real Madrid, but it's also a disadvantage for Real Madrid. The benefit, of course, is Barcelona has now lost a quality in that midfield. Someone that can play as a 6, as an 8, and as a 10. Let's be real, he can play 6, 8, 10 at a high level in all 3 different positions. The bad thing about it is that he's now gone to City and it will add a lot of quality into that City team, which is Real Madrid's biggest threat for the Champions League this season. So that's a disadvantage by itself. In terms of Barcelona, the biggest loss for them is, of course, losing him for absolute zero, and even contemplating of selling him was a mistake. The impact that he had on the pitch and off the pitch was massive for Barcelona. I don't think it can be replaced by any single player in that team. He added a lot of things, even off the pitch. His instructions, his movement, his communication, his leadership, massive for that Barcelona team, especially that young Barcelona team from last season, because a lot of Barcelona players of last season relied on Gundogan. Every single player even came out after the game. The Gavis, the Pedris, the Kubasis, everyone spoke very highly of Gundogan and pretty much told, bro, he's just another manager on the pitch. He was basically telling us what to do. He was teaching us. That's the impact and that's the role which he had in that Barcelona team. And now that's been vacated, but you've replaced him with someone that Dani Olmo was, fair enough, very talented. I'm not even criticizing him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. But if you lose out on the quality of Gundogan, try to maybe replace him with a similar profile. But you've replaced him with Dani Olmo, who, can we say he's better than Gundogan? No, he's not. Is he better than Frankie? No, he's not. Is he better than Pedri? Of course he's not. Is he better than Gavi? Absolutely he's not. Is he better than Faysal Lopez? I don't think he is. I don't personally think he is. I mean, if you ask me right now, who could be a better player for Barcelona and who could be more important for Barcelona, Fermin or Dani Olmo? The answer is very simple, Fermin. So Dani Olmo addition to this Barcelona team, the fact that Barcelona is sacrificing a player after a player, Gundogan, Faye, and that's not even enough. According to the latest rumours and the latest Barcelona sources, they still have to offload one more person in order to register Dani Olmo. So the fact they've offloaded Gundogan and Faye, and they still have to offload another person in order to register Dani Olmo? Oh man, Laporta, you have absolutely ruined Barcelona. You know, it's crazy. Let's be real, yeah? Can I say something honest to Barcelona fans? And I want you guys, Barcelona fans, to answer this honestly. Put your bias aside. Put your love aside to Laporta. Of course, he was there during the incredible years that you guys did between 2009 and 2010 and 2011, 2012, and so on and so forth. Forget that. Forget what he did back then. Let's just concentrate on what he's doing right now, yeah? His last 3 years, what, 2 years, 3 years? His last 3 years, yeah, since he's been as a Barcelona president, replacing the fraud and the scam person, and the reason why Barcelona is in this mess in the first place. And of course, you guys all know him, the GOAT himself, Bartomeu. Laporta's tenure for the past 3 years, compared at the Bartomeu's tenure when he first took over, yeah? I understand what he did. Bartomeu, of course, ruined Barcelona in terms of financially and everything. But Laporta's last 3 years hasn't been any better. And I'll be honest, you can argue it's been as worse as Bartomeu. Bartomeu at least gave you trophies. The same way Laporta is doing, of course, with winning La Liga 2 years ago. But in terms of financially speaking, if we compare both of them together, it's the same. Laporta came in and his first thing was, I'm going to bring Barcelona to the top of the foundation, not only in terms of trophies, not only in terms of competition, but most important in terms of financially. 3 years into his tenure, he hasn't achieved that. He brought in Deco to be the sporting director, and Deco has made it worse and worse and worse by signing players they don't really need and affording players which they do need for nothing. So in terms of tenure for tenure, stroke for stroke, they are the same level. I know you guys hate Barmate, and I fully understand what he's given you and what he's put you into. But Laporta hasn't done anything in order for you to actually celebrate or even dare to be happy about. He is as worse as that. Because in terms of salary-wise, in terms of financially-wise, or in terms of decision-wise, in terms of signing-wise, he's done absolute nothing. Even in competition, he's done nothing. Yes, you won La Liga 2 years ago. Congratulations. Hooray. Yay. But in terms of Champions League, nothing. In terms of league trophies, nothing. Only one title over the past 3 years. Right, I mean, unless you want to consider Super Cup as a title, then here you go. But in terms of actually competing for the past 3 years, you've done nothing. You've been knocked out in the Champions League twice in the group stage and then finally managed to get, what, a quarterfinal? What, are we celebrating quarterfinals now? Big Barcelona, who won 3 Champions League in 6 years, but now you're celebrating quarterfinals. Have some shame. Come on, man. So that's just my honest opinion. Laporta's job so far at Barcelona, his tenure at Barcelona, has been an absolute failure. From top to bottom. From left to right. Simple as. But guys, this has been my thoughts of this Barcelona situation, which is a complete mess, which they are currently in. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. All the Barcelona fans, put it down in the comments what you guys think. I'm going to read all the comments and, of course, respond to any of them if I feel they are good enough. But, of course, La Liga is returning tomorrow and Saturday. And, of course, I'm going to give you my match reviews. Before I go any further, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.